Good evening and a warm welcome to News Hour. I am Mbalu Bangura. Coming up in this edition, President Ernest Bangura urges MDs to do more as they sign performance contracts. Sierra Leone joins other countries to observe Tree Planting Day with the planting of thousands of trees at Mile 13. Special Advisor to President Ernest Bangura on social and political issues. Honorable Nuruddin Sankoila calls on Sierra Leoneans to support local poultry farmers. And the National Minerals Agency signs Book of Condolence in respect of SLBC's Deputy Station Manager, Bo Manja Parkins. All these stories and more, including business and sports, in this edition of News Hour. President Ernest Bangura has disclosed that when he introduced the performance contracts for ministries, departments and agencies in 2008, he had in mind to build a culture of efficiency and effectiveness in the public sector. He made the statement at the signing ceremony of MDs at the Bank Complex, Kingstown. Razia Bashkamarana reports.
The Secretary to the Cabinet and Head of Civil Service, Dr. Anne Suru, described the occasion as momentous as public servants reflect on the achievements and challenges experienced by the government in 2015 and the ambitious targets they set for 2016. He intimated His Excellency the President that they as civil servants have achieved a significant milestone of the Sierra Leone 2015 Open Government Partnership Action Plan, which is a public pronouncement of the performance contract result. Dr. Suru said, as they may all be aware, the performance contracting was initiated in 2008, born out of President Nkrumah's vision to run the country as a business entity.
To achieve this required accountability, transparency, timely delivery of services, and effective provision of answers to the demand of services and the citizens of this country from public servants.
Giving a background of the performance contracts, the Chief of Staff Office of the President, Saidu Konton-Sisay, said they are all aware of the challenges facing the state institutions in their efforts to deliver services. These, he maintained, include coping with public expectations, scaling up performance, inefficient utilization of resources, culture of business as usual, impropriety, difficulty in prioritizing plans, inadequate budgetary allocation, and disbursement. The Chief of Staff Office of the President added that the challenges also include inter-ministerial departments and agencies, coordination and collaboration, and non-adherence to internationally acceptable accountability and transparency standards. Mr. Sisay explained that the core function of the Office of the Chief of Staff is to facilitate the process of resolving those challenges in order to enhance coordination and teamwork among ministries, departments and agencies, strengthen public service delivery, and scale up overall government performance.
The purpose of this meeting is twofold. One is to provide feedback on the assessment of the 2015 performance across MPS, local councils, tertiary educational institutions, state-owned enterprises, using peer reviews, analysis of the quarterly and annual report, and field visits. The second purpose is basically to formalize the contracting process. We are fully aware that throughout the year, up to this point, you have been executing the plans that have been put together. without really signing any formal contract with the president. And I think this is actually the spirit that we want to drive home.
Presenting the results of 2015 performance contracts and performance contract signing procedures, the Director of Performance Management Service Delivery Directorate, Abdul Rahman Sowa, said inbuilt into this performance tracking table are performance targets that bear on policy, oversight and coordination, collaboration, institutional capacity building, reforms, legislation, cost-cutting issues, among several others. Explaining the project's trackers, he noted that inbuilt into this are the strategic projects agreed to be executed by the institution or take oversight responsibility for successful delivery, therefore timeliness, quality, assurance efforts, oversight role, cost effectiveness, and value for money are assessed. Disclosing the 2015 performance contract result as per category, Mr. Sowa highlighted the successful institutions under the very good category, which included the National Revenue Authority and the Sierra Leone Police.
The local councils. Those that have been rated good are Bo District Council, Mbalu District Council, Freetown City Council, Island District Council, Bo City Council, and Makini City Council. The ministries, Your Excellency, that have been rated are the Ministries of Defense. I want to thank them. They have kept this spot for years. The Ministry of Fisheries and Marine, the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Social Welfare, Foreign Affairs, Energy, Trade, Justice and the Attorney General, Internal Affairs, Information and Tourism. Our tertiary education institutions, Your Excellency, those rated as good are Eastern Polytechnic, Freetown Teachers College, University of Sierra Leone, Miti Magai College of Education, and Podlok for Teachers. Those are the National Revenue Authority, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Sierra Leone Water Company with the youngest CEO, the Corporate Affairs Commission this time, the National Commission for Social Action, and the Sierra Leone Police Force.
Signing the performance contracts, President Nkrumah said when he introduced the performance contracts to government, ministries, departments and agencies in 2008, he had in mind to build a culture of efficiency and effectiveness in the public service and building a culture of planning, monitoring and of self-assessment. The President maintained that to improve the public service delivery, each public institution should be able to identify its needs, prepare its budget, and show value for money in implementing its activities. He pointed out that each public office should be able to identify its lapses every year and that members of the public and civil society and other stakeholders should be integral to the planning, monitoring and evaluation of its government's policies, programs, reforms and internal processes. President Nkrumah emphasized that it has been the centerpiece of his government's openness and public accountability, underscoring their commitment to development aspirations of the nation. The President observed that before 2008, no government minister would think of being called upon to give account of his stewardship to civil society organizations, his peers, and the general public. He added that also before 2008, no mayor, no university, chancellor or principal will come before his councillors, his peers and the public to account on what he has done in office the previous years, and that no public servant will imagine that every year he will be openly assessed. President Nkrumah said, as a government, they have come a long way in the journey of openness in governance and public accountability in the nation's journey of building the appropriate work ethos of re-engineering the public service operations to meet the growing demands for service delivery.
We started the performance contract with 22 MBAs. Today, we are signing with 95 public institutions, and there is good reason for spreading this initiative across public institutions. We have seen that the performance contract also promotes productivity, enhances resource mobilization, collaboration, and coordination in the view of achievement of the overall national development agenda. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in view of what you used to obtain in 2008, there has been a general improvement in our governance system. But while I commend all of the participants for their continuous efforts, and I think we must commend everybody we have come along with. There has been a lot of improvement. And while I encourage everybody to strive hard and continue to do well, let me let everybody know that there is a reward for excellence, but also there will be punitive action for all performance. Today, we commend those that have made the mark, the good and very good. For the fair and not too good, that is urged you to walk up, and it has been clearly indicated by the Secretary to the Cabinet that we have not yet started penalizing people for directly failing to perform as an outcome of this exercise. But in future, we urge you that we will start that exercise.
Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Food Security, in collaboration with Guma Valley Water Company and other partners, have observed National Tree Planting Day, with the planting of thousands of trees at Mile 13, Guma Valley Water Complex. Each year, the day is observed to raise awareness on the importance of planting trees to preserve the environment. Hawamosiena reports.
The theme for this year's tree planting is Plant a Tree to Get More Water, as water is life. The ceremony, which took place at Mile 13, targeted various stakeholders and residents of Mile 13 communities. The planting of trees was done close to water catchment areas as a move to stop deforestation. Minister of Water Resources Mahmoud Maligi refused to plant a tree because pillars have been erected at the catchment area.
That was just for planting. Who's out map show? Now baking in there around. That means I should come out, then they can't polish it. You're not going to be sad, right? No, but wait. No, we need to be very serious and sincere. Who's out map show? They say line and they write down your small. We get agreements. Exactly. And I want to see the community take the first action. That pambo the way they are so. If they say inside they illegal. No, so why is it? Because we go begin now for show society. Your commitment, please add it map. Because if not, then you just can't show.
They want people living around Mile 13 to stop conniving with outsiders to sell lands that are part of the catchment areas.
Mandates are for protect the forest. It then an act, they don't get to you as an executive position for protect. When you don't see them, they know it's like fire force, you see fire. They say, man, go tell the authorities, say fire day. You job now for us the fire. So take the action.
Next line of action, of course, the director for the protected area management from NPA, this is
this is a minor one. Madam, this one is a minor one. We don't do tree planting before. And if you always give that example, when the forest guy them in charge, who said that tree plant, that plant outside the president will go to TSM for plants. And I mean people say it. Now the mandate, if now host the non-bill, it's a land issue. That somebody work and down. Work and down. Now we put extra work and down.
Deputy Minister 1, Agriculture, Forestry and Food Security, Marie Jallo, says tree planting has started long ago, as it is the responsibility of every Sierra Leonean to protect the environment by planting trees. She recalls few months back there was serious water crisis in the city due to encroachment and deforestation. She warned people to desist from cutting trees and always protect the environment from deforestation.
Me as minister, now ministry, we always want to take the lead, and we don't continue to take the lead anytime we do. And we will continue to take the lead for make sure we protect the environment, we clean those trees that we don't lose by doing a lot of planting of trees all over the country.
General Manager of Goma Valley Water Company, Bankole Mansari, spoke about the importance of trees in the environment as it helps protect the environment, provides water and preserve animals. Executive Director of Environmental Protection Agency, Jatu Jalo, calls for effective collaboration in protecting the environment. She notes that her office is working on several projects that will prevent climate change and deforestation. Honorable Dauda Kalon of Constituency 93 commended various partners and government in commemorating this year's Stream Planting Day. The community, he says, has faced with a lot of challenges, including encroachment and cutting down of trees and selling lands. He says they are putting strategies in place to stop harmful human activities within catchment areas. Honorable Kalon warned forest guards to stop conniving with people to sell the land within water catchments.
Do ya una left for the bush, the forest there. We left for the cut trees. Let we make sure say we prove to them people say we are people that when they obey law and order. Let we prove to them people say we are people that were ready for work with them. Now waiting that I can tell we now today. We not going to move 1 inch above them, but we'll make sure say we wait in partnership with them so that together we go make the necessary changes that we will need for let this community go before. On that note, I have to tell you plenty. Thank you.
Dr. Bangura, Executive Director of National Protected Area Authority, NPAA, says this year's theme for national tree planting is very important. SABC TV News Eye in Freetown, Hawamosue reporting.
The Special Advisor to President Ernest Bai on social and political issues, Honorable Nuruddin Sankoila, has called on Sierra Leoneans to support local poultry farmers so that they can increase production to supply the local market. Honorable Sankoila was speaking at a forum organized by the African Union Livestock Policy Hub and the Civil Rights Coalition at the Mabela community. This is part of a campaign to encourage Sierra Leoneans to prefer local chicken to imported ones following the recent rotten chicken saga. Let's now join Sheikh Ismaila for that report.
To imported ones came after the rotten chicken saga. Sierra Leoneans rushed at rotten chicken that had been dumped at the Bome landfill site at Kisi Dockyard. Civil Rights Coalition and the African Union Livestock Policy Hub intensified this campaign, moving from market to market, raising awareness of the people that there are local producers who can supply the market with chicken, citing Sarah Aka and others. At the Mabela community, chicken sellers, cheerleaders of different markets around the Eastern Police Axis appreciated the campaign by the African Union Livestock Policy Hub and the Civil Rights Coalition and promised to work with local producers, especially Sarah Aka, as the rotten chicken issue has badly affected their business because consumers are not buying their chicken. Following the warning by the Ministry of Health and Sanitation that Sierra Leoneans should be mindful of the chicken they eat. Representatives from the Sierra Leone Traders Union, community leaders including the Councillor for the Mabela community and its environs, accepted that local producers of chicken must be supported to grow in business. The Director of Civil Rights Coalition, Alfonso Manli, said government should discourage the importation of chicken and support local poultry farmers expand so that the domestic market will be adequately supplied. He called on all to eat homegrown chicken for them to remain healthy. He said the campaign to encourage consumption of local chicken is going nationwide. The Special Advisor to President on Social and Political Issues, Honorable Nuruddin Sankoila, said as a nation, people should patronize things that are produced locally as that will enhance socio-economic and political development of a nation.
But who see the way they affect we, now based on the expired items, they are so way they big up for we. Governments not ever, from where President Kuruma and government don't sit down, not ever allow make something kind of this country so where for can destroy people them. When they ever allow that. This we go sustain this. If it costs me for do anything, we're good for ensure say we brother and business go before we go make sure say we do.
Honorable Sanko Yila commended the Sarah Aka Food Processing Company for its investments in livestock in the country. Daughter of President Anisbai Kuruma, Danke Kuruma, said she was in the meeting to lend support to Sarah Aka because she believes that Sierra Leoneans should be healthy always, as what is eaten determines someone's health. She encouraged Sierra Leoneans to support local poultry farmers. The Chief Executive Officer and also Chairman, Africa Union Livestock Policy Hub, Pakai Kamara, said Sarah Aka is the country's own, and as such, Sierra Leoneans should take Sarah Aka as theirs. The company, Mr. Kamara said, has the capacity to supply the local market. We process 1,000 chicken an hour and 50 cattle per day, he said. Mr. Kamara said Sarah Aka can produce more and that the target is to supply Sierra Leone, Guinea, Liberia and Ivory Coast.
Sarah Aka now we own. Now we get Sarah Aka. Not to post it in own from outside. This is Sierra Leone business. I want to start for assure you, for example, if we able reach una demand. I tell you with all confidence, yes, we able reach una demand.
He said he is ready to work with chicken sellers across the country. Reports indicate that the consumption of locally produced chicken has increased since the rotten chicken saga, while consumption of imported chicken has dropped significantly. Reporting for SLBC News, I'm Sheku Smaila.
As a result of the recent incident that took place at the Kisi dump site relating to the rotten chicken saga, the Minister of Political and Public Affairs has called upon small slum dwellers to refrain from eating condemned food deposited at dump sites in the country. Maya Madenke reports.
It could be recalled that the chicken saga at Kisi Bome was associated with slum dwellers residing in the various dumping sites in the eastern part of Freetown. That was why the Minister of Political and Public Affairs, Madam Nanette Thomas, used the opportunity to address slum dwellers at Kintom about the dangers of eating expired foods.
Say that they can't throw away yonder. In a left for they go pick them. Because if you see they can't throw away them, it's not good. You can't eat. And when you sick, no problem. Na beaucoup money for go hospital. You know, some don't see that television. What people they run for go take the chicken in. It don't be now say that even the people and now we bring good chicken and cancer, then business all done well. What's in do? Because them people and they be run for go take the chicken. So me want beg you now for say anything them go throw away yonder. Do ya? You not beg you not picking them. Let them not go there for go take and bring canna in the house because it's not good. Mama and Papa, then where they are. Now for letting her talk to you, not picking them.
Deputy Minister of Political and Public Affairs, Ahmed Femi Mansare, called upon the children to study hard to become responsible citizens. He said foods deposited at dumping sites are likely to become poisonous. Chairman, Kintom Bome Community, Max Amara, said the visit of the minister and her team is impressive as they are the first set of government officials to visit them. He called on the minister to assist them with education, water and healthy living life. Awana Tukago, a slum dweller, denied the allegation that they at Kintom are not picking food from the dump site.
Okay, at all. Now the minister local advice to say they got to raise some cement on not exam. So what you about that? Well, right now we wouldn't accept. What they picking out? What they get? We don't want to condemn. Condemn can we no answer because they cooking out we also.
The National Minerals Agency, NMA, has joined the organizations that have signed the Book of Condolence in respect of the late SLBC Deputy Station Manager Bo Manja Parkinson. The NMA did a special presentation of solidarity. We now bring you highlights of the program.
I'm here to do a presentation on behalf of the Board of Directors, Management and Staff of the agency to the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation on the loss of
The former flag bearer of the Sierra Leone People's Party, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, and a cross-section of the SLPP have signed a Book of Condolence for Manja Parkinson. The signing of the Book of Condolence was done at SLBC New England. Omo Bakar filed in this report.
Manja Parkinson was known for her reporting not only during the Ebola outbreak but also the last two elections. Manners continued to troop to pay tribute to Manja Parkinson. Women's leader, Sierra Leone People's Party, Lulu Sharif, said their comment is not political but rather pay respect to a woman who was outstanding in the journalism profession and national development. Leader of the delegation, former flag bearer of the Sierra Leone People's Party, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, described the late Manja as a professional journalist whose death is not only a loss to the SLBC but the country as a whole.
Manja was a valuable member of that estate. She played her role. Today she's gone ahead. May the Lord grant her merciful judgment, forgive her sins, and we hope to join her one day. Nobody wants to go now, but much later we'll join her. We are here to show our respect. We know the role the Port Estate plays in the development of every nation, but as a valuable member of this estate, we are also here to show our collective respect as a group.
Also in attendance was the former SLPP running mate to the 2012 elections, Dr. Kadi Sissin. Acting Deputy Director General of the SLPC, Samuel Valcastle, thanked the SLPP for manning with the SLBC, saying that the office appreciates their coming even though it is not in a normal way but on a sad note.
Of the Board of Trustees, management and staff of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, we welcome UNA to the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation headquarters in New England, Freetown. We please foresee UNA come in such impressive number for can sign the Book of Condolence. Now we all lost. It is a national loss. Let we continue to console each other, and like the former flag bearer of the 2012 election, Brigadier retired Julius Madabio, don't say, we all pass through time. One day we all go converge at the other side of life. Let we take heart. Welcome, Una.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Political and Public Affairs, Nanette Thomas, also signed the Book of Condolence of Manja Parkinson.
It's unfortunate that you guys have lost an asset. But we are all here on the journey. One thing I'm happy about is that she finished the journey gracefully. We wish to know why. There are people who, before their journey ends, they become so sick that the relatives will be begging and asking God to take their lives.
As part of commemorating World Breastfeeding Week on the theme Breastfeeding, a Key to Sustainable Development, the Ministry of Health and Sanitation has, in concert with partners, concluded a symposium on a need to promote and support breastfeeding countrywide. The ceremony took place at St. Anthony's Parish Hall, Sykes Street in Freetown. Joseph Stanley now reports.
The observance of the day is to raise awareness, promote exclusive breastfeeding, as well as how it links to Sustainable Development Goals aimed at ending poverty, protecting the planet, and ensuring prosperity. According to the Director of the Directorate of Food and Nutrition, Aminata Shamit Koroma, breastfeeding is one of the low-cost interventions for child survival. She maintained that despite challenges, the country has made significant progress as the rates have increased, but much still needs to be done to meet international benchmarks. Madam Shamit Koroma stressed the need for effective collaboration with partners and stakeholders to support and promote, especially exclusive breastfeeding, as it will help prevent children from childhood diseases. The director encouraged lactating mothers to continue to breastfeed their children within 1 hour after birth until 6 months, as it is the best way to provide the nutrients they need. The WHO Field Coordinator Western Area, Dr. Isaac Boateng, described breastfeeding as the best milk for a child, as it also helps to reduce child morbidity and mortality. He discouraged the practice of the use of water on newborn babies, noting that breast milk is free gift from God that can be used to save lives. The Director of Food and Nutrition Security Initiative, Melrose Tucker, explained about the link between the promotion of breastfeeding and Sustainable Development Goals to address poverty and the well-being of infants. The public health specialist, Safa Karoma, said WHO and UNICEF have laid emphasis on supporting breastfeeding as it is one of the smartest investments countries can make in the well-being of their citizens, and reminded the audience about the global strategy on breastfeeding. Several other speakers also stressed the need to invest not only in ordinary breastfeeding but exclusive breastfeeding and personal hygiene for lactating mothers.
Freetown City Council, in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth Affairs, is organizing a training for youth entrepreneurs in district councils with the aim to develop their business skills and build their capacity to become successful business people in society. The male youths were drawn from district councils who are engaged in mobile phone repairs and petty trading, among others. For the next 2 days, these youths will be trained on small and medium enterprises and microfinance. Facilitators from the Freetown City Council, Ministry of Youth Affairs, and other youth-serving agencies. They spoke about the importance of empowering youths in the business sector to become agents of change in their communities. This training is part of the devolved functions to Council with the aim to minimize the rate of unemployment among young people. They appeal to participants to be focused and sustain their business. At the end of the training, each participant will receive the sum of 1 million yen as a gesture to add to their business. Also, Women in the Media Sierra Leone WIMSAL has opened a book of condolence for the late Manja Parkinson, who was the first chairperson of WIMSAL in the Eastern region. The late Manja Parkinson was described by the female journalist as a role model, a mentor, friendly, and an outspoken person. WIMSAL described the death of Manja as a big loss to the media, and she will be missed. One of the family members commended women in the media Sierra Leone for the sisterhood shown and expressed hope that the friendship will continue. Director Legal Aid Board has presented its paralegal officers that would work with the police in communities. The presentation of the officers was done at an executive meeting of senior police officers held at the King Tom Police Officers Mess. Maya Madinke Kanuna reports.
Director Legal Aid Board Claire Carlton Hansels said the institution is working with community advisory boards, the police to maintain law and order in communities. She said most cases that should have been settled and addressed in communities are most times taken to courts. She said the paralegal officers will be working with the local unit commanders in various police stations. Director Advocate Sierra Leone Simiti Lavalley said most of the commercial sex workers arrested by police are maltreated. A short documentary on a case study of commercial sex workers was screened.
Okay, the officer there, meeting at the street, slap you, arrest you, the lorry say they ask, they answer no fine question, putting herself from the charge you go court, from court time go imprisonment. So you go and 6 years, 1 year, you cannot know what they go to inside there.
It's a family living. I'm they take care of me, mama, me picky, my sister. I'm they pay for the school fees. So I make I prefer can street a carry. And the money they go not to better money. Really pay within 25. So money they go treat you. They take your money in your hand. Police say for only they go be say 100,000. So they carry 150 na police. The way they only back once you not get money back, the most you wanna get that. So any kind if you not get that, they need left. They must send in a court. Yes. I will not also I will be chopping a street. They get my shot you, they take your phone, or that they take your money. So that not to police supply a thief man there.
Representatives from various civil society groups made presentations on commercial sex workers. The Inspector General of Police, Francis Mono, called on police officers to strategize new methods of arresting commercial sex workers.
We bring justice to our people. While we concentrate on criminal justice, you go beyond that. So your work has wide-ranging influence on the stability of the country, because the stability of the country will largely depend on how much we are able to dispense justice.
He commended the Legal Aid Board for their efforts in bringing justice to the people and called on the paralegals to work effectively to achieve its desired goals.
The Human Rights Defenders Network Sierra Leone is holding a multi-stakeholders national dialogue to foster cooperation for an effective implementation of the Universal Periodic Review recommendations in Sierra Leone. The Universal Periodic Review, UPR, is a unique process which involves a periodic review of the human rights records of all 193 UN member states. The forum was held at the Miata Conference Hall in Freetown. Judith Sanana reports.
The two-day national dialogue on the implementation of the Universal Periodic Review recommendations in Sierra Leone is a follow-up activity of the post-Universal Periodic Review on a pre-session organized by the core working group members for journalists and civil society organizations. Popularizing the Universal Periodic Review, these journalists were schooled on the Universal Periodic Review and how to monitor and report human rights issues. The Sierra Leone Association of Journalists made commitments in taking a leading role in disseminating the Universal Periodic Review recommendations through various media houses. The Universal Periodic Review, UPR, aimed at improving human rights in member states. Sierra Leone is among the 193 UN member states, which provide an opportunity for all states to declare what actions they have taken to improve the human rights situations in their countries and to overcome challenges to the enjoyment of human rights. According to the chairman of the Human Rights Commission, Brema Sherif, UPR is reviewed every 5 years, and that Sierra Leone's first Universal Periodic Review, UPR, was in 2011. He added that the Commission has been providing technical support in Sierra Leone's UPR.
We had a journalist training yesterday to ensure that journalists are part of the process. And that is why we are here to move the recommendations from passive notes to active notes. That is why we are here to work together, not looking for the weaknesses of the other, but working together for our country. That is why we are here, not to be the usual spectators, but active participants in providing strategic support to the governments that has the overall responsibility to implement the recommendations.
He said the implementation of the UPR recommendations, which has started, should work towards the advancement of human rights and freedoms. He said Sierra Leone made history by accepting 177 recommendations out of 208 recommendations presented. He added that high number of recommendations demonstrated outstanding commitment to the ultimate goal of the UPR. The Chairman Human Rights Commission expressed concern that these recommendations impact the lives of Sierra Leoneans in terms of the improvement and enjoyment of human rights. He called on the stakeholders to demonstrate transparency, trust, and partner with governments to enable the UPR acting in reinforcing the universality of human rights. He emphasized the role of Parliament in the implementation process by enacting legislations. Regional Representative for Africa Gilbert Onyango said the state has the primary responsibility to implement the recommendations contained in the final outcome. He added that the UPR ensures that all countries are accountable for progress or failure in implementing these recommendations. Mr. Onyango said during the second review, the state is expected to provide information on what they have been doing to implement the recommendations made during the first review, as well as on any developments in the field of human rights. Various speakers emphasized on the cooperation of stakeholders in the implementation of the UPR recommendations in Sierra Leone. But the question remains how it will be effective with a poor level of representatives of stakeholders in the dialogue session in making commitments in the implementation process. Judith Sana, SABC News R.
The Minister of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs, Sylvia Olainka-Blyden, has said in Freetown that she inherited a dysfunctional ministry that is embedded by scandalous and corrupt practices by some officials of the ministry. She made a disclosure at the weekly press briefing hosted by the Ministry of Information, UA Building. Abru Samsise now reports.
Giving an update on her assumption of office, the Minister of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs, Sylvia Olainka-Blyden, said she first uncovered a false activity, which she further described as a big fat lies that were presented to President Nkrumah, involving a $2 million project for the installation of internet services for the child protection system for all children across the country. She also informed journalists that there were false claims by a Sudanese foreigner to President Nkrumah for the fixing of a VSAT in the ministry, which she also described as a conspiratorial report. According to the Social Welfare Minister, she aims at bringing AFCOM company to justice.
I had to go out and look because the government doesn't have money to hire new confidential secretaries for the minister. So I had to go out and I looked amongst people I know are looking for work. And out of my personal funds, in excess of $1 million leones every month, I decided to recruit a volunteer to serve as my confidential secretary. And she's there right now. She's been working there now for over 2 months. Her name is Hawa Bao. Hawa Bao is a Mende woman from Kenema, and her heritage is from Shegwima, Kailaon.
She also added that the issue currently reported to the police has also eroded to an attempt of bringing a tribal element of hate by possibly inciting one of the largest ethnic Mende tribe against the execution of her ministerial responsibilities. The Social Welfare Minister, Sylvia Olayinka Blyden, stated that she has recruited a confidential secretary who is a Mende called Awa Bawo, contrary to claims of tribal element of hate against the Mendes. Also at the press briefing, the Deputy Minister of Information, Cornelius DeVoe, explained his findings on the recent uproar of flooding in the Koidu city at the Congo Bridge. He told journalists that it was merely a misconception by sectors of the Kono public that claimed a standoff by locals and the Chico Construction Company. According to the Deputy Minister, there was no standoff between the locals and the contractors in Kono.
The road through Congo Bridge, though it is under construction, was opened to vehicular traffic, pedestrians, motorcycle riders, and other road users had the opportunity to use the Congo Bridge while the bypass remained flooded. Few people, for very obvious, nefarious political intentions, decided to take advantage of the flooding and to incite people to provoke public pandemonium and uproar with an intention to bring the city to a standstill.
The president of the Pig and Poultry Farmers Association, Emil Kagbo, also informed journalists of the operational activities of the association and further recounted challenges that include the poor access to finance by his association, the unavailability of feed mill and processing facilities, as well as inadequate veterinary services and training centers for the association. For SLBC News Freetown, Abdul Samsise reporting.
To end news are the main points again. President Ernest Bai Koroma has urged MDAs to do more as they sign performance contracts. Sierra Leone has joined other countries to observe Tree Planting Day with the planting of thousands of trees at Mile 14. Special advisor to President Ernest Bai Koroma on social and political issues, Honorable Nuruddin Sankoila, has called on Sierra Leoneans to support local poultry farmers. And National Minerals Agency has signed a book of condolence in respect of SLBC's Deputy Station Manager, Bo Manja Parkinson. That's all in this edition of News Hour. On behalf of my news editor, Sheku Sumaila, I am Mbalu Bangura. For more information about our programs, do send us an email to www.contactus.slbc.sl. Thanks for your attention. Good night.